Hey, stop scrolling for just a second because today Microsoft pushed out one of the most important security updates of the year. And if you're running a Windows PC using Microsoft Office or have employees who open Excel files or email attachments, you need to hear about this. We're talking about 79 vulnerabilities patched directly by Microsoft today, 94 when you count third-party fixes rolled in alongside them, including 2 zero-day threats that were already publicly known before Microsoft even had a fix ready. One of them is an SQL server flaw that could hand an attacker administrative level access to your database. The other is a .NET bug that could knock your systems offline. And those are just the zero-day threats. One of the other fixes involves your AI assistant in Excel quietly handing your data over to an attacker. Another brings back memories of one of the worst Windows vulnerabilities in recent history. Stick with me through the video because at the end I'm going to tell you about the one involving your printer that every Windows user needs to know about and what you can do today to make sure your systems are protected. I'm Brian Longworth, host of A Faster PC Live Technical Support, and I'm about to break down the March 2026 Patch Tuesday. Let's dive in here. Real quick, if you're new here, welcome. Every second Tuesday of the month, Microsoft releases a batch of security fixes for Windows and its software products. It's called Patch Tuesday, and it's basically the day the security world holds its breath to find out what holes hackers could exploit if people don't update. Adobe and several other software companies also tend to release their security patches on the same day, which we'll get to in a bit. The bottom line, if your computer is running Windows, Microsoft Office, or Adobe products, this day matters to you. Whether you're a solo home user, a small business user, or running a team with 50 to 100 people. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what was patched, what the most dangerous issues are, and what steps to take to make sure that your system or systems are protected. So let's get into it. Microsoft patched 79 vulnerabilities directly this month, 94 when you include third-party fixes bundled into the release. Here's what that breaks down to in plain terms. 46 of these bugs are elevation of privilege flaws, meaning an attacker who already has a foothold on your machine can use them to gain full control. 18 are remote code execution vulnerabilities where an attacker can run malicious software on your machine from the outside. And there are also 10 information disclosure bugs, 4 denial of service flaws, 4 spoofing vulnerabilities, and 2 security feature bypasses. 8 of the bugs are rated as critical, the highest level of severity. 2 of them are already known in the wild. Hackers were using them before Microsoft even knew about them. That's what a zero-day threat is. The first of these is an SQL server vulnerability labeled CVE-2026-21262, which could allow an attacker to elevate their privileges all the way to SQL administrator level. The researcher who found it had actually disclosed it publicly in a technical article before Microsoft had a patch ready. The second is a .NET denial of service flaw, CVE-2026-26127, that could allow an attacker to crash or disable .NET-based applications over a network. That's a welcome change from last month. But once the patch goes public, hackers reverse engineer the fixes to figure out exactly what was broken. And they move fast. So let's talk about the vulnerabilities that should be on your radar. Here's one that's genuinely new territory and honestly a little alarming. There's a vulnerability in Microsoft Excel, CVE 2026-26144, that Microsoft has rated critical. Here's what makes it unusual. It's a bug that weaponizes Microsoft's own AI assistant, Copilot. The way it works is this. an attacker crafts a specifically designed Excel file. When you open it, the bug quietly instructs Copilot AI agent built into Excel to pull your data and send it out without you clicking anything, without any obvious warning. Microsoft's own description of this flaw states it could cause the Copilot agent to exfiltrate data via unintended network connections, making it a zero-click information disclosure attack. In plain English, your data leaves your computer silently without you doing anything wrong. Now, what kind of data are we talking about? Likely, whatever files or information you have access to as the logged in user on that machine. If you're a business owner and your employees have access to customer records, financial spreadsheets, or sensitive business data, maybe even social security numbers or date of birth, and they open a booby-trapped Excel file, that data could walk right out the door. This is exactly the kind of threat that's going to become more common as AI gets baked deeper into everyday software. It's new attack territory, and it deserves attention. Drop a comment below. Are you using Microsoft's Copilot in your business? I'm curious how many viewers are already working with AI tools in their daily workflow. Here's something that shows up month after month, and it's getting harder to ignore. There are two more Microsoft Office remote code execution vulnerabilities this month. CVE 2026-26110 and CVE-2026-26113. Both are rated critical. What makes these particularly tricky is the attack vector, the preview pane in Outlook. That's right, the preview pane vulnerabilities are back again. This preview pane is the panel on the side of your email box that shows you the content of an email or attachment without fully opening it. Most people have it on and never think about it. The problem? Attackers can craft malicious files that exploit a vulnerability just by being previewed. You don't even have to open the attachment. We point out that this type of bug has been patched multiple times over the past year, and it's only a matter of time before someone starts actively exploiting these flaws in the wild. If you're using Outlook, today's update addresses this. And if you want an extra layer of protection, make sure that you hide or disable the preview pane in Outlook settings. Okay, this next one, if you've been in the IT or security world for a few years, the words print spooler vulnerability probably makes your stomach drop a little, and for good reason. CVE 2026-23669 is a Windows print spooler remote code execution vulnerability. Security researchers literally said reading the title makes them twitch because it brings back memories of a vulnerability called Print Nightmare from a few years ago, which was one of the most widely exploited Windows bugs in recent memory and affected virtually every Windows computer on the planet. This new bug works in a similar way. An attacker who is already on your network and who has even a basic level of authentication can send specially crafted messages to a Windows machine and take full control of it. No clicking on links, no opening files. Just being connected to the same network is enough of a starting point. For home users, the risk is a bit lower. But for businesses with shared networks, this is serious. Any machine that hasn't been updated is a potential entry point. We're urging you to prioritize this patch. Don't wait on this one. There's one more worth a quick mention. Microsoft Office and SharePoint both have additional remote code execution bugs this month. The SharePoint ones are particularly notable for businesses because they only require basic login credentials to exploit, the lowest bar possible. If your company uses SharePoint for document sharing or team collaboration, make sure your systems are updated. There are also vulnerabilities in the Windows graphics component that could let an attacker gain full system level control of a machine, essentially becoming the most powerful user on that computer without your knowledge. And one more for the strange but real category. The Microsoft Authenticator application has a vulnerability that could expose your one-time sign-in codes, the same codes you use for two-factor or multi-factor authentication. An attacker who captures one of these codes could potentially log into your account as if they were you. Two-factor authentication is great, but it's only as secure as the app delivering those codes. The takeaway from all of this, updating Windows and Microsoft Office today is not optional if you care about the security of your business and personal data. All right, let's shift gears to Adobe. And this month, they had a lot of ground to cover. Adobe released 8 separate security updates today, addressing 80 individual vulnerabilities across a range of their products. Here's the rundown: Adobe Acrobat and Adobe Reader. This is the one most people should focus on first. It patches 2 critical vulnerabilities and is used by virtually everyone who opens PDF files. If you use Adobe or the free Reader on your computer, this is a priority update. Adobe Illustrator had 7 bug fixes, including several rated as critical. If you or anyone on your team uses Illustrator for design work, get that updated today. Substance 3D Stager, a 3D design tool, has 6 critical bugs fixed. All of them could allow an attacker to run malicious code on your machine. Premiere Pro also had a single critical bug that could allow the same result. Adobe Commerce, which powers many online stores, had 19 vulnerabilities patched. If you run an e-commerce site on Adobe Commerce, or your web developer does, this needs attention. The good news with Adobe this month is that none of these vulnerabilities are confirmed under active attack, and most are rated as low priority for deployment. But that doesn't mean you should skip them. It means you have a little breathing room to schedule them. But don't forget, get them updated, because if you don't get them updated, I can guarantee you these vulnerabilities will be exploited in the future. Very briefly, Adobe and Microsoft weren't the only ones releasing patches today. And I want to flag one in particular that home users and Android phone owners should hear about. Google released an Android March security bulletin today. It includes a fix for an actively exploited zero-day threat in a Qualcomm display component. Unlike everything we've talked about in the Microsoft and Adobe threats today, this one is confirmed to be actively under attack right now. If you have an Android phone or tablet, check for system updates today. Beyond that, Cisco released security vulnerabilities for numerous products. Fortinet patched vulnerabilities in FortiOS, FortiPAM, and FortiProxy tools commonly used in business network security. SAP released its March security updates covering multiple products, including fixes for 2 critical vulnerabilities. And HPE, or HP Enterprise, addressed multiple vulnerabilities in its Aruba networking products. If your business uses any of these products, loop in your IT provider. If you're on Florida's Treasure Coast, Space Coast, or South Florida, that's where a faster PC can come in. Now, what's your action plan? Here's what I want you to do today. Step number 1, update Windows. Go to Start, click Settings, Windows Updates, and check for updates. Install everything available and restart your computer when prompted. Don't put this off. Step number 2, update Microsoft Office. You can actually do this while you're installing the Windows updates. If you use Word, Excel, Outlook, or any other Office product, open the Office app, go to File, Account, and click Update Options, and then Update Now. Step number 3, update Adobe software. Open any Adobe application, go to Help, and click Check for Updates. or use the Adobe Creative Cloud app to update everything at once. Step number 4, check your Android phone or tablet for updates. Go to Settings, then About Phone, then Software Updates, and install anything available. Remember, there's an actively exploited zero-day threat in Android being targeted right now. Step number 5, if you're a business owner, make sure this isn't falling through the cracks. Do you actually know if every computer in your office is up to date right now? If the answer is, I'm not totally sure, that's a problem worth solving. That brings me to something I want to mention before we wrap up. Keeping up with Patch Tuesday every single month, understanding which updates are critical, which can wait, testing updates before they break your line of business software, making sure every device in your office is covered, that's a full-time job. For a lot of small business owners, it doesn't get done consistently. And that's not a criticism. You're running a business. But one unpatched computer is all it takes for ransomware, data theft, or full network compromise. That's exactly why a Faster PC exists. We're a local managed services provider servicing Florida's Treasure Coast, Space Coast, and South Florida. We handle patch management, security monitoring, and proactive maintenance. We even can automate the installation of patches, so you don't even have to think about it. We take care of your computers the same way a trusted mechanic takes care of your car. You shouldn't have to become a security expert to run a safe business. That's what we're here for. If you'd like to know more, visit our website at afasterpc.com or give us a call at 772-878-5978. Again, 772-878-5978. That's your March 2026 Patch Tuesday breakdown. 79 Microsoft vulnerabilities, 80 Adobe vulnerabilities, an actively exploited Android zero-day threat, and some genuinely concerning new attack techniques, including one that turns Microsoft's own AI agent against you. If you found this video helpful, please click the like button, click subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when we release new videos. And I want to hear from you in the comments. Have you already installed Microsoft's Windows updates today? Or are you using Microsoft Copilot or AI tools in your business? Or is there a specific security topic you'd like me to cover in a future video? Drop it below. I read every comment and reply to them personally. And remember, when you have or want to prevent cybersecurity problems, you need a Faster PC.